Hi, we're looking at eLC from the student point of view, as you can see up here. So I just want to show you, give you a tour of what you'll be doing on this website. The course uses 3 different platforms. One of them is Google+, one of them is eLC, which I'm showing you now, and the other is Connect, which goes with the textbook. So we can start here. This would be the first thing that you do, and you would have a checklist. You do have a checklist to do. You can watch a video about me. You can read the general syllabus. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, okay? This class is completely online, as you know. It requires at least 2 years of high school Spanish. It is accelerated, so it goes extra fast. Normally, Spanish 1110 is a whole year of college Spanish as a semester, and now you're doing that in half the time. Okay? You're going to be working on speaking and listening, writing and reading, listening and reading, and oral and written skills. Here are some course goals. And this is the grade breakdown that we have. 10% for the midterm, 15% for the final. You have 2 oral exams, a composition, and quizzes on over different sections of the course. Homework will be in Connect, and you'll also do the oral exams, final exams, midterm exams, and quizzes and compositions. Everything will be there, and participation will be eLC forums and Hangouts, and we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so you can read all this in your spare time, but just want you to be aware, July 5th is the last day to drop without getting a WF. Please obey the academic honor code. I'll be able to tell if you've used an online translator pretty easily. And then here we have the basic outline of the course. Note that eLC is down for maintenance on June 17th, July 1st, and July 15th. So normally our work would be due at midnight, 11:59, but it'll be due at 10 that day. Only on eLC though. Okay. The next thing that we have is the daily syllabus, and this is going to be probably the most important document that you consult. It shows you what to read in the book each day, and it shows you what homework to do in Connect. Okay? Instead of having your homework due every single day, which has happened in some online classes, I've decided to make it due only on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So everything in this column in blue is Wednesday. Everything in this column in yellow is due on Friday, and everything in the red is due on Mondays, okay? My recommendation is that you go day by day and do this stuff as it comes up. That will make your life easier, but I'm trying to give you some flexibility so that you don't feel like you have to be on there every single day doing the online work. Okay. You're going to have participation activities, Google Hangouts, which we'll talk about in a minute, and eLC discussion forums. So the due dates for these are included here as well. So I would just urge you to look ahead as much as possible to see, well, this day, for instance, the 24th of June, I've got an oral exam, I've got to do my culture and language post replies, and I've got homework. So sometimes it can be a lot, but that's the nature of the online course since we have to do it in half the time. Let's see. This gives you information about how to get onto Connect. Here you have something about academic honesty. You really need to read this. I do not like giving people penalties for academic honesty violations, but I have to do that, so please be careful. You might want to check your computer. Here's all the information about Connect. This is the link to get onto the Connect website. Okay. Please email me if you have any trouble connecting there. Again, information about registration, and we're going to be using Tegrity to take our tests, which is going to be kind of a screen capture and video of you to ensure that you're not cheating. Just be aware of that. The next 2 things to look at, one of the participation components is this Google Hangouts on Air. You need to go in here and put your Gmail address so that people know how to contact you. Here's some guidelines for how the process is going to work. You need to set up a Google Plus account in order to do your Hangouts on Air, and you have a tutorial about how to get through it. Every week, I'm going to be adding more questions to guide you that week. So every week you're going to be doing 2 different Hangouts. That means you need to do 2 recording sessions of 10 minutes apiece with a partner. And once you're done with that, you need to submit the link to your YouTube video on here. These are going to be due 8 a.m. on Monday. So you're not going to start doing the Hangouts until next week, until the 2nd week of the course. And that means by the beginning of the 3rd week, you need to submit that to show me that you've done it. Here's a rubric. So let's take a look at this real quick. Again, you're going to have to do 10-minute interactions with a partner, and you're going to have to do 12 to 13 throughout the semester. So that's 2 a week. Okay, you get 1 free. So again, from weeks 2 to 8, you'll be doing these. Okay. And then when you're done with it, like I said, you'll submit this form. It's a Google form, and it will go to my inbox and I can see that you've done it. So you'd put your name, you'd put your Gmail address, what week you're talking about, and then the link for me to come and watch it and to grade you. So, we're not in class, so you can't speak to me as easily, so you're going to interact with each other. It's like what we're doing in class to participate. Okay? So 1 form per week, per student. So both of you need to submit that, both of your partner and you. Let's see what else. Discussion forums. You'll have 2 different kinds of discussion forums. You're going to have a culture discussion forum, and you'll have a language discussion forum. And you can read the guidelines for that. And in order to access those, you go up here, Tools, Discussions, okay? You'll have your first post actually due next Wednesday because of the ad drop, but you'll need to go ahead and introduce yourself in Spanish. And then you can we'll have questions for me about the Spanish language, anything you want to ask, so I could possibly make a video, right? And then this will tell you, this will be a place where you can find, where you can put your availability for the week, and that way you can get your Hangouts done on time. Okay, and I'll also put the culture and language forums here, but they're not up right now. I need to add those, but I'll add them by the end of the week for you to do next week. Okay. Let's see what else. I'm trying to make it easy for you so that you have checklists to do every day. For instance, tomorrow, this is what I'd recommend you do, okay? Read the textbook, these particular pages, and then you would do these assignments in Connect that correspond to this stuff. Now, like I said, all of your first set of assignments are due Wednesday, June 15th because of ad drop. So, you could procrastinate and do them much later, but it would make sense to me to do them one day at a time, okay? And that way, you can check off when you do it. Like, I've read this, oh, that means I've done 25% of what I'm supposed to do that day. And you stay on top of this and keep referring to that daily syllabus to know what's coming up as well. I think that's pretty much it on the eLC part. I'll make another screen capture video about Connect, but please let me know if you have any questions, and have a good day.